sant yàlla.
looy xaar utal Wave nga scan nga fay te nag doo ci yokku dara.
Jar Oil, the company, have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
In the Gambia, we all move to different paces. Time is money, convenience is power, and now both are in your hands. No more long lines, no more late payments, no more missed chances. Not anymore. Because now the Gambia has its own super app, Zap. One app, one tap, endless convenience. Send money instantly, pay your bills in seconds, shop without borders, pay your rides, order your meal, buy your ticket, deposit and withdraw money for absolutely free. No extra charges, no hidden fees, only on Zap Super App. This is not just convenience. This is confidence. This is the future in your hands. And the best part, Zap is born right here. Built for us, designed for every Gambian home, every Gambian dream. So don't wait in the past. Step into the future. Download Zap today on App Store and Play Store and enjoy endless free services. Call us today on our toll-free number 1666 or on 260-0001. Zap, all in one, all for you. Tap in, zap in.
On Monday, the 5th of January, 2026, you're with Coffee Time with Peter Gomez, live on radio across the country on 92.1 on the FM band. Globally, you'll find us at www.wcr.gm. Now, the nation is still reeling from the shocking killing of a Forex Bureau worker, a crime that has reignited fears about public safety and the state of national security. At the same time, the backway phenomenon continues to claim young Gambian lives, raising urgent questions about government responsibility and accountability. This morning on Coffee Time, we turn to opposition politician Essa, Faal, a seasoned legal mind and outspoken advocate for reform, and why to confront these pressing issues head-on. From violent crime at home to deadly migration abroad, how can the Gambia protect its citizens and restore public trust? That's what Essa Faal is here for. But since this is our first meeting this year, Essa, Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you, Peter, and all listeners out there. I wish all Gambians to have a prosperous 2026, and a 2026 that would see the voting out of the government of Adama Barrow, this ineffective government that has so continued to badly affect Gambians, to be replaced by a Sobeya government, a government led by APP Sobeya, Essa Faal as president, and to usher in a new era in Gambia, a new era in which public resources are used wisely and only for the benefit of Gambians, a new era in which there would be common sense in government, a new era in which all this waste and lubal would be a thing of the past, a new era in which there would be sensible reforms that would put Gambia on the path for economic recovery and prosperity. I wish you all the best.
Fantastic.
For 2026.
Sounds like you just made your closing statement.
When they are impromptu, they are deadly.
What was the central theme of your New Year message to Gambians this time round?
2025 was a terrible year for Gambians. It was a year in which most families are grappling or were grappling with high cost of living. I just met a woman the other day, senior police officer, who told me, astaghfirullah. This first was a lady I met in Banjul. She works for the government. She told me she was earning $7,000 and her rent was $8,500.
Oh.
I asked how she managed. She said it's part of the raba. I met a senior police officer who also lamented a similar situation, earning nothing more than $10,000 paying rent $6,000
He's better off than the lady.
Yes, but the thing is, they are all in the same boat. We have subjected them to the indignities of poverty. They would either have to raba or they go around town begging people to supplement their income. That is the Gambia that people live in. You go to the market, the women cannot afford the things that are necessary to put a good meal on the table for their families. People are paying high rent. I mean, you earn $5,000, you pay rent $6,000. It's simply unaffordable to the people. Transportation is also another big problem. They pay from stop to stop to stop to stop. It's expensive. People can't afford it. School fees is also high. In fact, some schools are more expensive than the university. It's unbelievable. So Gambia is a hard place to live in. Even those who come from the West to come to Gambia on vacation.
They find it hard?
They find it hard.
Oh.
It is shocking to them that Gambia is so expensive.
With, the way the Dalasi is falling like a lead ball.
Yeah, but so
you bring your euros, you bring your dollars, and getting Gambian Dalasi is absolutely no
prices are also going equally high because remember, the exchange loss is compensated for by the increase in prices.
Sure.
So that.
But government could argue that they have started the new year very well. The price of fuel has gone down. The price of cement has now gone down. The price of rice has gone down.
The price of cement going down is artificial.
How so?
Well, if they created a situation which allowed the price of cement to go up to $650.
It's now back to 415.
Yeah, so that was massively exaggerated. For it to come down to 400, and before then it was, say, 3 something, I think shows the fact that the government does not have its act together when it comes to this cement issue. The government should come up with a policy that would benefit the manufacturers, but also not be punitive to the users, to the customer.
I just ran a line there that Dr. Cisse perhaps will repeat tomorrow when he tackles the issue of cost of living.
You mean the person who's sent to every day attack Essa Faal? That is the brief. Minister of Misinformation. Go and misinform about Essa Faal.
Oh, that's how you characterize Dr. Ismail Cisse? He will definitely point to the fact that, if people were saying that, fuel is expensive and now it's gone down, rice was expensive, it's gone down, cement was expensive, it's gone down, that the government should be given some credit.
I would have taken it seriously if this thing would have come from a serious source.
My source is the finance minister.
I don't want to go personal. I don't believe in the politics of personal attacks. You sit in the comfort of an interview room and insult a person or insult the person's parents or the person's forebears. I don't see that as interesting politics. I don't see that as decorum. I don't see that as good discipline. If people represent a government, they should represent seriousness. They should represent respect for people, whether they agree with them or not. But they should not come and attack people personally and try to trivialize or minimize them. You see, there are people who've achieved things in life. No matter who you are, you can never trivialize their achievements or obscure history. I or my parents or my grandparents have contributed massively to this country. Whether you agree or you disagree, that's a personal problem. But respect and decorum demands, especially of those who are put in high places of office.
Why do you feel insulted? Whether it's by Dr. Ismail Assisi or whoever.
Look, I don't respond to minions who go around and peddle falsehood for their puppet masters. I don't respond to them. But I just want to
Who are these minions?
I just don't want to caution that in our politics, much as we disagree with each other, we should disagree with respect. We should argue on the ideas. But these personal attacks, characterizing people's, trivializing contributions of their families, it's not good politics.
Who's doing that? Who's done that?
That's as far as I'll go. You see, I will not dignify those horrible acts by giving any further comment on those things. Thank you.
Okay. I made reference to the killing of a forex worker in introducing you. How do you interpret this recent incident in the broader context of public safety?
First of all, I would wish to say or extend once again my condolences to the families of the victim. It was a tragic incident. Mm-hmm. These things should not happen. Even though one can argue that every business owner should have a responsibility to ensure that the environment is safe, that does not take away from the responsibility of the government to ensure public safety, especially during a time of real economic difficulty, where people look for every opportunity to make money, especially criminal gangs operating around. It behoves the government to ensure that in these places there is enough security that could serve as a deterrence for anyone contemplating such horrible acts. So it was a massive failure of government responsibility for not doing what it needed to have done to ensure that all those areas had sufficient security presence that could have deterred the commission of this crime. This was not the first time things like this has happened in the country. Now Gambia, killings, especially of this nature, are becoming frequent. Growing up in here,
the police have put out a statement denying that, this perception that everyday killings or killings are becoming frequent has any truth to it.
The reason why they are coming out to debunk that is because the perception is there. It would not have been necessary.
They're saying it's false.
It's not false. It's a perception, but it's also true. The record, so compare it to 5 years ago or 10 years ago, we never had such number of violent deaths in a year. So, they would spin. They would come and try to whitewash these things, try to maquillage it. But the truth is the truth.
So what does this incident, the Bruceby incident, reveal about the state of policing and crime prevention in the Gambia overall?
It just shows that. Look, these people are more focused about clearing the roads when the president is passing, securing presidential convoys and doing nonsense like that, and providing security where security must be. Look, the police force is expanding. There's no reason why, apart from traffic police, where do you go and you see police?
Well, they claim to conduct routine patrols in communities, and in so doing, they have reduced crime.
Well, we want further reduction in crime, because that action clearly shows, their statement clearly shows that action, their presence, does in fact reduce crime. We want greater presence, such that there will be further reduction, greater reduction in crime. Why can't they do it? This does not take rocket science to know that just by increasing their presence, this thing would reduce. Why aren't they doing it? Everybody here is frustrated. The women are frustrated. They can't go to their ceremonies dressed in the way they want to, because going home they run the risk of somebody ripping their jewelry off their necks or taking away their hair, these things from their heads. Women do complain about it.
I was at a weekend wedding when a lady was narrating how, just trying to make a phone call, somebody just snatched her phone and off he went with it.
Exactly. So the presence of the police in public areas and in areas where they are prone for, these things occur frequently, would be helpful. And the people need it. And that is why Gambian women don't feel safe in their country. And that is also one major reason why Gambian women are going to massively vote against Adama Barrow, because his government does not care about the safety and security of Gambian women.
He keeps reminding us, though, that his development project will ensure that Gambians return him massively in December. But do you believe the government is underestimating the scale of violent crime in this country?
They are deliberately underestimating it because they don't want to admit their failings, and they want to just confuse the Gambian people by making them believe that what they see is in fact not real. People are telling you when a woman's hair is ripped off her head, she knows it is true. When a woman's jewelry is taken off her neck, she knows it's true. Or that lady who lost her phone, they know that this is true. So let them keep dreaming and let them keep trying to confuse people. The reality is the reality. Gambian people don't feel safe in their country. Okay. Even men don't feel safe, let alone women.
Well, I hope I don't get to that stage where I don't feel safe to leave my house to come and work.
Oh yeah. Look, it has happened here that people would even attack you in your own home and kill you for what they believe you possess. It has happened here.
So what immediate reforms would you propose to restore public confidence and trust in our security institutions?
They know it. It's greater presence. It's just greater presence. And there are other interventions. Gambia is this place where you come up with...
Yeah, but presence does not always,
but
deter
it serves as some
Let's go back to the traffic police, for instance.
Yes.
You see them everywhere.
Yes.
But every day you see more stupid things being done by drivers.
No, because...
So it can't be for
because the drivers know that they have a way out of that situation.
Which proves that presence does not always mean deterrence.
No, does not. If you can pay your way out, it does not. But it's different from violent crime.
Okay, brings it back to my question. What immediate reforms would you propose to restore public trust and confidence in our security institutions?
There are short-term interventions, and there are longer-term interventions. Those are deeper interventions. The short-term intervention is just increase presence massively in areas where crime is prone to happen. And that would reduce crime. There are certain crimes, those are mala prohibita crimes, wearing my lawyer hat. These are just crimes because the statute book says they are crimes. They don't have anything to do with morality. So those are traffic crimes and so on. So for those things, they don't harm people much. But the bigger concern is the violent crimes. Say around the market areas, around the business areas, areas where, because of the setup, it is easy for criminal conduct to fester there. Places where drugs are sold and things like that. These are places.
And that brings to mind a certain location in Kololi. I'm sure you've heard about that spot.
Tavern. Everybody knows about it. What are they doing?
What would you do about Kololi Tavern?
I will close all those businesses in Kololi Tavern. Every salon, every bar, every music place in Kololi Tavern, I'll close and disperse them. Okay. So you change the use of the business facilities that are there, so they would disperse. But also, the thing is, look, the drug enforcement agency, they know where drugs are sold and who sells them.
Well, they certainly know what's going on at Kololi Tavern.
Of course. So people are getting away with drug dealing because we have some bad officers. Not all. There are some who are very good. There are some who are very committed. But there are some who are just bad officers.
Is that why government is unable to tackle this issue? Because, I mean, your proposition is very easy. To close, just come and say you can't open anymore. It is that simple.
If
is it because we have some bad cops? Yeah. That's why it's been difficult for the government to... or is it a more deep-rooted issue? Lack of political will, perhaps?
Maybe lack of political will play a part. But also, we have to remember that in Gambia, the Yekalante system takes care of those at the top and has forgotten those at the bottom. So those at the bottom, they rubber for survival. Because they rubber for survival, bribery would become commonplace. So for those who are involved in crime that generates cash, bribing away people can be very easy. So you see, we can change this country, but we cannot change this country if this Yekalante system continues, if this Yekalante system persists. Our president must realize that the people at the bottom must be paid properly. They must be paid well. You cannot tell a person who's got 3 children at home, has to parent, feed his family, pay school fees, give lunch money every day, and you pay the person pittance and expect the persons not to take handouts and expect the persons not to do something on the side. It's not possible. That's why I always say that we are subjecting Gambian workers to the indignities of poverty. That is, you either beg or you bribe, you take bribes or you steal. There is no way out. You must eat. And because a human being must eat, that person must find it. And it gets to a point where it does not matter how the person gets it. Because when nature calls, you must answer to the call of nature or you die. So people must take bribes. People must take handouts. People must beg. People must steal because they must eat. Unless and until we solve that problem, this thing would continue. Gambia and many countries like Gambia would never develop. For as long as corruption continues to fester, for as long as people continue to be so badly underpaid that they have to do whatever it's necessary for them to survive. So, and that is why we have problems everywhere. Nothing works, and nothing would ever work until we take the Gambian worker seriously. Nothing would ever work unless and until we start paying them properly. Nothing would ever work unless and until we show them that you are human beings who really matter. If not, it will never happen for us. And that is why I am saying an APP Sobea government, the first thing that we would do is to reduce the disparity between those at the top and those at the bottom. Pay those at the bottom properly. Pay them livable wages like human beings. Let them be able to afford at least basic food, basic accommodation, and the rest of it. So that when they go to work, they will focus on doing the work. You see, but what we do is we pit themselves, the individual, against the state. The state wants you to do something. You want to survive before you think about doing it.
So how would you close the gap between, in this disparity between those at the top and those at the bottom? Would you keep increasing the salaries of those at the bottom? Because
no, that is unrealistic.
You're a lawyer. I mean, to come in, I was earning 15,000 just because Aji, the sound technician, is only earning 2,000. That's through no fault of mine.
I understand.
The salary comes with the position. So
I
you just
understand.
don't come and say, well, okay, Peter, you're earning far too much more than Aji. From 15, I'm bringing you down to 10. And the 5 I'm saving from you, I will add to Aji so that she gets 17. Sorry, she gets
not
7.
necessarily. You see, there must be a much more scientific and more sophisticated way of doing it. It can't be that crude. Gambia did it at some time. Remember, in 1983, 83 and 85, we did some civil service reform, which brought in some form of redundancy.
Yes.
But those who were made redundant were paid sufficiently well for them to go and start businesses of their own.
Yeah.
Okay. And the civil service was made leaner.
Was leaner, yes.
And salaries were adjusted.
Okay.
So there are experts in doing these things.
Okay. So
but the thing is...
So you'll give a good handshake with those that will be let go,
Yes.
so that they can go and,
Yes.
rather than, remain employees, become employers themselves.
Exactly.
All right?
And
who knows, maybe if I was not sacked, in 2001, I would not have been employing this many people today.
Exactly, precisely the point.
On Monday, the 5th of January.
But the starting point is the most important thing. You must have an empathic leader, not a leader who just wants it for himself and his family.
Well, in the past weeks, he's been packaged to me as an empathic, quiet, accommodating, whatever.
Look,
that we could not get a better leader than.
Ask yourself who is saying it.
Well, employees of his.
Exactly.
On
And
Monday,
employees
I have
taken
to go
from where? Employees taken from where?
Well, from the Gambian society, I would
No,
say.
from what level? If you taken from almost near poverty
Uh-huh.
to almost gentry, you can say anything in praise of that person.
Okay.
But that is the truth.
I have to go to a break.
That is the truth.
I have to go to a break.
Peter, he who pays the piper
Yes, I
calls
think
the
I
tunes.
put it on my
They did, Peter.